What's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and that's Bridget Willard. And today we're talking about WordPress 101, blogging to find your voice. It's funny, I always have to look off to the side to read the thing because I don't want to get it wrong. And everyone's like, ooh, what's wrong with you? Yes. So today's been a fun day, Bridget. A fun day. It's been hot. It's now hot inside. It's hot. I got to do some Instagramming. It's just yeah.
How hot was it? The problem is the humidity. We can't deal with this. We don't have air conditioning. So before people in the Midwest or Florida start saying, "Oh, you Californians, we're not used to this 80% humidity BS." Okay?
Totes.
So just saying, we pay for this weather. We want a refund.
Totally. We totally pay for this weather.
Look, you guys went to the equator on purpose. Costa Rica people.
All right, that's all your fault.
It doesn't mess up my hair. It's just, it's hot. It'll be over soon. Can't wait for October.
So, Bridget, there are people who have never seen the show before. Oh, no way. So, for those people that haven't watched the show, tell them who you are and tell them why we should totally be talking about WordPress 101.
My biology. Oops. Wrong word. My biography is constantly emerging and evolving. So, but basically, I'm Bridget Willard, and I blog at bridgetwillard.com. And I found WordPress by blogging. And then WordPress found me because I was blogging about WordPress. So here I am.
Awesome. Awesome. Good job.
That's the short version.
That's the short version?
Either come to WordCamp Las Vegas, where I'll be telling my tear-jerker story, probably full of tears, or WordCamp Cincinnati, because I just got invited to speak at WordCamp Cincinnati.
Jeez, are you going to be...
Actually, I turned down another invitation because I'll be at LA, but... I am the puff piece of 2016. In 2017, nobody will give a crap anymore.
I guess so.
Send your slide suggestions and specs to You Too Can Be Guru. I am collecting advice.
Awesome. So I'm Jason Tucker. I do some stuff here on the show, WP Water Cooler and WPblab and WP... I don't know. I'm starting to do one for. I'm doing one for like every single thing at this point now.
Show and tell, that's cool.
Yeah, WP Show and Tell. We did episode 2 of that guy. It worked out really well. We're going to be getting some more of those sorts of things going, and then we did a thing called Hallway Track. We did that last WordCamp that we went to, which is WordCamp Orange County. So fun stuff. Those are the things I've been doing. One last thing before we jump into this thing. I'm doing this thing that's kind of interesting. It's a vlogging every day in August, Veda. So if you go over to SSS Veda, just do a Google search for that, you'll find all the stuff that you need to know about SSS Veda. I'm doing mine over at jasontucker.us/SSS Veda. So if you want to take a look at those things and see the stuff that I'm doing, kind of get a little bit behind the scenes action of what goes on in my life, that'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Feel free to subscribe to all those stuffs and everything else. I try to get Bridget to do it, but she just has too many things going on.
I don't want to put on makeup every day. I'm sorry. I'm like embrace that part of my remote work.
I get it. I get it.
Maybe next year.
I keep
putting you off every year.
Well, maybe you could do the whole blog every day in October or whatever that thing is, November.
Yeah. Right now,
Nomo.
Yeah, something like that. Right now, I'm trying to blog every Saturday. Let's see if I can keep that up.
Oh, good.
I haven't written anything for this week yet, but I have some ideas.
Well, let's talk a little bit about WordPress 101. We've done a few of these now, and this one in particular is kind of finding your voice for your blog, right? And just figuring out, and your blog doesn't have to be your blog. It could be the blog that you're managing for your client. It could be the blog that you're managing for your cat. It could be the blog that you're managing for your family. It could be anything and everything.
Right.
There's tons of stuff that can be blogged about. You know, if you're going through a wedding and you're trying to get all those things situated and you want to share it with everybody, perfect thing to do is to set up a blog and start talking about all that stuff. It's all those behind the scenes things that at some point in your life you're going to look back and go, whoa, that's all the stuff that happened. Or now your little girl is going to be getting married, or you're, you know, whatever. Now you can go and kind of share all those things if you want. So it's cool. I really love the idea of blogging and really being able to kind of put all that stuff out there. But the hardest part of the whole thing is finding your voice, right? Finding that thing that you wanna talk about.
Right.
And since I'm the kind of content creator that does a lot of this stuff with video, my voice is my voice. I tell you what I know and what I don't know, and that's it. And so at least with text, you can kind of go a little deeper with that, right? You could even kind of craft that stuff.
I'm not sure, because the truth is some people are better at writing and some people are better at speaking.
Well, I'm neither, but I at least tried one.
You're the video king. Get out of town. Now,
I tried one and it works.
Like, I'm okay. Like, I have a Guru Minute series on my YouTube channel. It's like under a minute. Unsolicited social media strategy in under a minute. I can hang with that. But too much longer, I'm bored. Okay? I'm bored. So that's the problem. But I feed off of an audience, so I prefer public speaking or writing. But sometimes you just don't have the time to write, and the video is faster. Because if you just speak it, then you don't have to edit. But the thing I like about writing is when you sit down and write, you are forced to think about your subject matter critically. And it helps you develop that thought more fully than just rambling on. I'm not saying anybody I know rambles, but until you've thought about it a while in your mind, it's hard to just present it concisely. So
how do you find that? Like, what's the...
Okay, so here's the thing. So I saw this. I love, I almost wish that Russ was here because he would appreciate this the most. But there's a documentary on the improv that was on Netflix. And they were talking about how these comedians went every Saturday night for years and years and years. And you get up there and you try your material and it works or it doesn't. And the audience likes you or they don't. And then you have to switch around, you have to switch around what you're doing, and you have to find what works. And so they said, if you have spent every Saturday night at improv doing your stand-up, then you have a degree and you found your voice. Because it literally takes that long before you really figure out what your angle of funny is. And it's not that different with blogging. I blogged for years. I wrote for years. Like, I had a front page HTML, like every blog post was in HTML because I didn't know what a CMS was until 2007 when I found WordPress.com, right? So I just made a new page and wrote whatever I was writing. So, but then when I started the social media persona, like snark just sort of like ended up being part of my brand. And everybody's like, where's the snark? This is too serious. And I didn't realize that people like the snark. And so you start finding that voice the more you do it. Having a series and having kind of a formatting thing helps, but it takes a lot of doing it and trying it. And, on this show, we talk so much about the technical, which is great. It's great. I'm not against, I love devs. You guys are my favorite people now. Like, I'm just saying. But the truth is, don't hate me. I love you guys. The website exists for the content. So.
I thought it was how many functions and various things I can make display stuff. I just turn on all the display things and just make them all display.
Does not exist that you can practice advanced custom fields, custom post types, or WP-CLI. Although we love you with all of our hearts for doing this. Like for me, I obsessed with the theme. Yeah. Obsessively switching for a long time. Oh, I don't like this. I'll switch. I'll make a new banner. Oh, I don't like this one. Now I'll switch it again. I'll switch it again. I'll switch it again. And finally, it's like Hemingway. The font's big enough. I can read it. It's fine. I don't care. I'm done. I'm not switching anymore. I'm never switching. Like I'll say I'll never switch, but eventually. But I've landed on Hemingway, and I've been on Hemingway for a year as BridgetWillard.com, and then probably at least 2 years when I was on WordPress.com. I just stuck with it because the problem is if you start just obsessing with the way it looks, it distracts you from the purpose of why it exists and what you meant to do in the first place. Like I was kind of in a throwback Thursday mood today, and I found this TechCrunch interview with Matt Mullenweg and from 2014, and he was talking about, they were asking about Medium, like, what do you guys think about Medium, and da-da-da-da-da. And I didn't even realize Medium existed in 2014. I don't know where I was. But he was like, yeah, it has a really good user interface and da-da-da-da-da and whatever. I think that back then even WordPress wasn't as enterprise ready or as beautiful as it is now. There's so much more you can do with it. But it was just interesting to hear him say, yeah, the mission of WordPress is to democratize publishing. Anybody can have the same CMS as TechCrunch. And it just brought it back to me like, yeah, because for me, I want to learn all this stuff, right? You can be a self-made man in WordPress. You can learn as much as you want. There's millions of people to teach you. There's tons of blogs to show you. There's videos. There's so much, including this show, on anything you want to level up on, you can. Paid, free, whatever. But really, in order to find your voice while writing, you have to write, and there's no shortcut to that.
Yeah. You could totally shortcut by using Siri and have it dictate and get it all wrong. That's pretty awesome. I've done a whole blog post like that, and that did not rank very well SEO wise because all the words were wrong. It's like, I don't know what you're doing, but I know plenty of people that they just write from their heart, their own voice, and that's it, and they're not trying to craft this thing. And you have all these people that are so worried about SEO and so worried about how do I get all of the right, all those great words in there. It needs to be just the right words and all these different spots, and that's frustrating.
It is frustrating, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. I mean, I was having to write about roofing. That wasn't my trade. And then I went to a general contractor. I'm writing about epoxy injection, water intrusion, design build. Then I start reviewing plugins. Like that's the blog. At first I made my site, and then Matt's like, oh, why don't you review plugins? I'm like, sorry, wrong person, right? But then I started reviewing plugins and writing about plugins. I just barely built my first 2 sites, and the BridgetWillard.com, I took the XML export from WordPress.com, and that's all I did.
Yeah.
So I don't even consider that building. I consider that exporting and importing, and it worked, and I'm like, fine, that's good. This year, I got Beaver Builder, and I started learning how to do more things. Even though it's still cheater, it's advanced for me, right? So, like, there's a lot that you can do that way, and you should. And Kevin's saying in the chat that for a developer, their site is potentially their own portfolio, if you will. And for a writer, the content is your portfolio. So for me, I was in a desperate situation to leave my job, and I knew that my blog would be my living resume. So that's why I went crazy about it. I made it my part-time job because I knew this is my way out of being a secretary, right? I was determined, I am resilient and resourceful. My new mantra. So the thing is that you're not going to find your voice until you start writing, and you have to write regularly. And I had abandoned that on my own site because now that's like 50% of my job. And I'm not just writing for WordPress stuff, we have a client who's an IP broker.
Yeah,
learn about different kinds of IP addresses. There's 2 different kinds. They're exhausted, static, and Aaron, and ripe, and you're just like, what are all these things? Like all of a sudden, you're just thrown into this world, and that's what a writer does when you're a content marketer. You have to be in that person's world. You have to assume that persona, and that's why I like the comedy analogy.
Right.
Because you have to like kind of try things in order to figure out what's going to work. You know?
Yeah. Well, and trying things is especially when you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what's working. Like, is the like, do you define success based on people leaving you comments?
Oh, at first I did.
Do you define the success based on people sharing it on Twitter? Do you define success based on blah, 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 blah? Like, where you know, how do these people define success? And the thing is how do you even define success if you don't even know if you're succeeding or not? You know, it's like, how do you even know, like, if you don't have the tools available to you to tell you what you're doing right or wrong, oh my gosh, you're just going to be frustrated. You're going to be like, why isn't anybody leaving a blog post? Why isn't anybody this and that? And then come to find out, oh, you forgot to uncheck the little thing that says, don't tell any of the search engines about your website. And then you're like, what the heck? Why isn't anybody going to my website? This happens. This totally happens.
I mean,
I've had people launch their websites. Months later, they call me up and they go, my website isn't getting any hits from Google. And I'm like, did you make your own language up? Like what happened here?
It's a Klingon.
And they come to find out, you go in there and you're like, oh, you have that little check mark that says, you know, don't let search engines index my website. And you're like, oh, great, that's wonderful.
Not just that, but then and I'm not really sure why WordPress. I'm sure a smart person will tell me, maybe even you. But I'm not sure why WordPress doesn't default with the words as far as the slug goes.
Yeah.
Permalinks. Why are the permalinks equals page number 492? What drug? Is that like a backward compatibility issue? Or that's like the first thing I do is tell people those should be words. Your link should be words, not page equals page question mark, blah, 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 blah. Well, at least it wasn't the last time I looked. I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
This was back when Bridget, you know, coded her own WordPress. You know, she got the shovel and she dug it out of the ground.
Yep, digging out of Alcatraz, one blog post at a time. Okay, so before Tuesday, I would have said Google Analytics is a good way, but then Jason Cannell says Google is for benchmarking and indexing. It's a benchmarking and indexing tool. But so I like comments because to me, bloggers always comment. I want to know if I affected you, right? That's my thing. But then, you know, you could say, oh, how many hits you get or how big of an audience you have. But for me, it doesn't matter that my daily hits are an average of 20. One blog post got me this job. One blog post seen by 2 people because one person saw it, shared it in AWP, the other person saw it, and that's how I got this job. So in order to get this job, only 2. So this is what we forget. It doesn't matter how big the audience is. It matters if the audience is the right audience. So then it goes back to chicken and egg. And I would say hashtag depend. It depends. Yours is it depends. I'm like chicken and egg. So do you know your audience before you start writing? Or do you write and find your voice and then your audience finds you? Because that's how I did it. Now, that might be backwards, but for me, that was easier. People asked me questions about social media, and I would answer it in my blog post, right? And then I kind of found my voice. But
well, I think the thing is that if you're you know, going back to the defining success thing using comments, unless you like ask for comments, most people aren't going to leave a comment. I've written plenty of blog posts that have not gotten a single comment, but then you look and they're getting shared in various places. People are linking to it from their own website. Spammers have figured out how to do something cool with it and maybe, you know, monetize it before I could. you know, all these different things are happening, but I don't get any comments. So for me, I wouldn't think that comments is my way of defining success. It's not, because
it's
people
like
aren't going to
pulling
leave.
teeth. In fact, one of my friends and I are like challenging each other right now. We didn't make a Slack channel. We're just direct messaging each other on Twitter. And I go, okay, I left a comment here today. And he'll say, I left a comment here today. To leave a comment at least 6 days a week somewhere. Well, I'm just saying, like, that's good for the backlinks, but also, like, do you want comments? You got to give. You have to give to receive. This is the moral to, like, every single story that ever existed.
Right.
I mean, some things maybe don't require a comment. But
yeah. Well, you've read some of my stuff. My stuff is very technical, because it's like, here's the thing I need to remember. Hopefully I can, you know, find it again when I Google search for it, and I put it out on the internet, and that's my content. That's it.
I
and it
usually
has
try
value.
to say thank you. Like, I want people to know I read it, that hit was a read. But then a lot of people have things, you know, comment plugins to say, your comment was too short. Okay, well, now you get nothing. So
I was just gonna say thanks, and that's it. And then I put TKX.
No, I was spelled out. Hey, thank you.
And then the spam filter picked it up.
I'm not.
No, I can never leave a comment ever again.
This person's blocked, or you write this really thoughtful one, and then you get no feedback. It's not awaiting a moderation. You have no idea. You know, I know that Kyle is like, he's confused because we're talking about WordPress 101 blogging. Maybe he was thinking we were talking about the one-click install.
Oh, goodness. I hope not.
But if you are looking for that, I am currently writing a piece called From Zero to Admin. Because to me, that's the most difficult part of spinning up a website. Buying the domain name, getting the host, and getting that cPanel and clicking the one whatever. So I'm like in heavy research mode again, because I don't remember how I did it. It was a year ago. I don't do this all the time. But, you know, do you need SSL? And I'm trying to like answer all the it depends questions with like some kind of guiding light. Because I could say, going from 0 to admin, it depends. Love, Bridget.
Right.
That's not really good blog post.
Hey, man, it's all about the hashtag. It depends. I don't know where the paper went. It disappeared. I was looking around. Oh, here it is. I found it. There we go. Hashtag it depends.
Hashtag it depends.
Yeah,
well, that's the laziest answer ever, and I love you. I'm just saying, like, so, like, I'm trying to think, because nonprofits, a lot of them, they start in their garage. They have a heart for their cause. So now they want to level up. That means getting a website and collecting donations online, preferably with Give. We just redid our, when I say we, I mean Devin. We just redid our website. It's so beautiful. He did it really
good. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah. It really shows you how a hero graphic is like the only thing you need to have a really awesome, crazy.
I know! I'm so excited about it. Yeah, those guys are awesome.
Yeah, it turned out really good.
Yeah, he's. But I'm just saying, like, so that's the hard part. Is like, so do they just go on WordPress.com, or do they just go on Square? I mean, if they can't overcome that obstacle of actually getting from 0 to the admin, like, I think once you're in the admin, most people just pick a theme and move on with your life. Like, don't go in the black hole of I'm going to look at 40,000, 200,000 themes, or even try going to some premium thing. Just doesn't matter right now. What matters is getting your content on the internet, and people forget that. So that's why we're talking about the content, finding your voice and making sure the voice is consistent with your brand. So
yeah.
Do we want to let Kyle in now that we've wasted a half hour?
Let Kyle in, huh?
I mean, whoever this guy is, black and white, not Kyle. See, now I mix up Kyle and Adam Silver because they're just sort of.
I just want to see what Chris's view looks like. That's what I want to see.
It's probably.
Don't you want to see what Chris Lema's view looks like?
Here,
let's see what Chris Lema's view looks like.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can.
Maybe.
How you guys
What's
doing?
up, Chris?
I'm good.
Going good, dude. How you doing?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to see the ocean.
There it is. Whoop, there it is.
Nice.
Whoop, there it is. There's your singing.
Awesome.
That's the ocean.
For the
Who's my
acapella
singing?
karaoke.
Awesome, dude. Hey, Chris, how did you start out finding your voice in blogging? What was that thing that kind of told you, okay, I'm putting the right words together in order to be able to get people to do the thing, watch the thing that I'm doing, read the thing that I'm doing? Where was that voice, and how'd you find it?
Voice takes a while to get, right? It's one of those things that you have to write a lot before you find what connects for you, how it works. So I find that if you're talking to public speakers or you're talking to authors, the tone, the pacing, the words, the approach are all things that they get after writing a lot. Like, you just have to do it a lot until you find, this is the easy path for me. So for me, it took probably 200, 300 posts before I felt like, okay, I have a set of structures that I use regularly now. I have I have a particular tone. Obviously, I want to be helpful, so that drives how I do it. I think somewhere in the middle of that, it was clear that, okay, I'm telling stories. I often open with a story, and that draws people in. I close with the end of that story. And so a story component is part of how I write my posts. Finding all those pieces and putting them together just took some time. And you want to be very aware of what's working and what's not working. And normally you can't do that quickly, right? You have to wait until you get feedback. At some point, I wrote an article for another website. And I read in the comments, and the comment said, as I was reading this article, I felt like this sounds a lot like Chris Lema. And then I got to the bottom and it said, there's a guest post by Chris Lema. And that's when I knew, okay, my tone, my approach, my structure now is established in such a way that I have found my voice, and people are starting to recognize it when they read it elsewhere.
So if we're talking about 200 posts, and let's say people do one a week, that's 4 years. My math's right.
Yes, if you do it like that. I mean,
so that goes with the improv analogy.
Yeah, I think part of what happens is, like anything else, to find your voice or to do anything well, you're going to have to get to know yourself, which means you're going to have to do it a lot. So whether you publish the post is a little immaterial, right? You can be writing, you can write for other people, you can write for yourself, you can write in your journal. Again, I've been telling stories and I've been framing content for a really, really long time. So once you start getting into the habit of creating content, I think you'll get there. But if you're doing it once a week, you're not going to find your voice in 3 weeks. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, I remember even blogging with you. We you sat down and said, let's do a whole month's worth of blogging. I was like, okay, that was the most I've ever written in a long time. Like, what, high school? Back when I was not doing my homework during high school, it was like that. That was like the longest that I've done any writing like that. So I can see where if you write enough, you can find your voice. But one of the other things we were talking about before you hopped on was regarding how do you define success in that? Like, if you don't have all the tools available to you to track this stuff and figure it out, Bridget was saying that maybe commenting, having people leave comments is the way you track success for those blog posts. Sharing on Twitter or something like that. Like, so what are those metrics?
I define success as having gotten it done. When you write it and you hit publish, that's success. Because and I know it takes so much work for someone to comment, right? I mean, like, they got to either totally love what you're saying or totally hate it. I mean, if it's, just kind of helpful, they won't write a comment. I remember going to Copyblogger when I was just getting started, and they had, of course, they were selecting which articles to show you in the sidebar, but they had sidebar ones that had like 240 comments, and I'm like, what the heck? And you know, like it's a good day if I get 2, right? And so you have to change. I think you have to change the dynamic of what do you call, you know, how do you define success? For me, hitting the button, hitting, you know, some people it's the streak. Can you get 3 days in a row? Can you get 5 days in a row? Can you get once a week, but for an entire year? Consistency, getting it done, those are measures of success.
Oh, that's the kind of Fitbit I need. I blogged today. Woohoo!
That's right. And
those steps on your calendar.
Jetpack does something like that, right? Jetpack at the end of the year, if you've had Jetpack installed, Jetpack will send you a nice little report and be like, your longest streak was 72 days, and you wrote 294 days this year, and you're like, that is pretty good. Let's see if I can beat it next year, right? So I think you have to define success as getting it done rather than externally by did other people comment or how many, you know, Twitter retweets or how many whatever, because you're counting on someone else to define you as a success, and that's just going to be painful. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle the entire way through, right? Yeah. Huh. So what do you think, Bridget? Do you think success is a little different? Do you think just doing what Chris is saying here and just hitting that publish button, or even the hardest part is you've written all this stuff, and I've seen you do it, Chris. You write all this stuff, and then you go up there and you say schedule post. You literally have delayed
the gratification.
Like that.
The hardest part. To me, that's the hardest part.
Exactly.
Because I work like a dog on this. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. People read this. Like.
So I'll be honest. I don't ever schedule posts. So for me, the success was the discipline of actually sitting down each day and writing. Right. I've taken a period of time off, and coming this week when I get back from vacations, it'll be one of those things that 9 a.m. is write time. Right. So every morning when I get up, I'll come downstairs and I'll write. If there's a day where I don't write, that's the day that a post doesn't go out. I don't do the pre-schedule stuff, but I do know the feeling, right? Because sometimes I'll write for someone else, and when I write for a different website, I send it to them like super jazzed, like this is my best article on this, and then you have to wait 6 weeks for it to be published, and you're like, this is horrible.
Ooh, I'm jealous of that editorial calendar.
Yeah.
I just want to get 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah, having an editorial calendar allows me to sit down at 9 a.m. and go, okay, I know what I'm going to write about, but I do the discipline of just writing it when I sit down and write.
Yeah, all the good writers had disciplined writing time. So it's just you have to do it. To me, though, of course, success is clicking publish, but also that's only one part of it because you are writing for an audience. So it's nice if they laugh at your jokes and learn something, or better people when they leave, you know. And the truth is, we don't live in a world where we define our own success because we're constantly measured and evaluated. So
I hear that. I mean, I'll tell you, as a public speaker, there's a lot of jokes that don't get laughs, right? Most people don't ever remember the jokes I told that didn't get laughs because I got enough laughs of the other jokes that, you know, that it worked out, right? But I can't control if the audience walks away going, that was great or not. I can just get the work done, right? So I'll give a talk. It'll be 35 minutes. In those 35 minutes, there may be, I don't know, 15 to 18 jokes, and I'll probably get 10 that work, right?
That's a good percentage.
5 to 8 of them won't, and you just kind of go, it is what it is. My job is to be disciplined about getting it done. The reaction is something I don't control. Now, over time, I define success as being able to pay my house payment and my health insurance payment by affiliate revenue from my blog, because that means I don't have to work. That's good news, right? But all of that is the result. That's not the actual work. The stuff I control is writing, sitting down and writing. That's what I control. I don't control if people click. I don't control if they buy. I don't control if I get the payment back.
Awesome. Yeah. Writing,
it's the hard part.
That's the hard part. It might be it's the hardest part is that, what's that thing, it's like, should I even write the title of this post yet? No, maybe I should just start writing, and then we'll see what the title ends up being.
Right? So like my girlfriend, she writes the headlines first. And we have an idea file, and like we were just talking about one post, like funding open source with open source. Ooh, I like that title. And then like sometimes the headline gets you going, like, okay, I totally know what to, like when I was making a joke with Jason, I was like saying, Jason Cannell, I said, yeah, 2004 call and they want their PayPal button back. And he goes, that'd be a great headline. And so of course I wrote something, but on Medium, because I didn't belong on the voice didn't match our blog, right? We were like, but it was too funny to not write it, right? So sometimes I get inspired by the headline. Right. Sometimes I go, well, I know I need to write this, and then I'll just go working title, and then I'll write it, and then maybe I'll finally come to the end and go, oh yeah, that's a really good analogy, and then I'll go to co-schedule and like put that in a couple times and see if I can get above 65.
Well, I like what Chris was saying about this, the idea of having multiple places to put this stuff, and one of them being a diary or a journal or something that's just for you. You're still writing. You're still putting that stuff out there. You're not putting it out for the world, but you've taken it from here and then put it to here, right, Chris?
Yeah, and the truth is, I probably, at any point in time, I probably have, I would guess, something like 20 drafts that are just ideas I had that I sat down and started writing, and then I'm like, I'm not sure I'm feeling it. And so I just put it aside and sit down and write something else. And then I'll have those. And every now and then I'll go back and go, okay, now I got a way to, I got a way to attack this, right? You can't always just have the perfect post. But the other thing to note is, I think I'm known when I interact with people, I think I'm known for probably no more than 20 posts, right? There's like 20 core posts of people like, I read this post and it totally helped me. I read this post, like 20. But I have over 1,000 posts I've written, right? So you don't know what's going to hit. You don't know. Like I just keep coming back to, I don't get to control success that is external. I get to control success on discipline and effort, focus, and being generous, right? Because I can do that part. But the result, you know, I can't predict. And if you talk to, I mean, if you interact with or read the interviews of authors, right? You get this dynamic where they're like, that book was a hit and I had no idea it was going to be a hit. And this other book that I totally invested in and thought it was awesome, didn't go anywhere. And you're like, yeah, you don't get to control the audience reaction.
Yep.
All right, guys.
You totally don't.
Is getting started.
Hey,
I gotta bounce out. Take care, guys.
All right. Have a s'more for me. Awesome. Yeah, definitely defining success too far out. There's so many things that happen
really
leading up to that.
Kind of like this camera that decides it's not going to stay in place right now. Duct tape next week, buddy. Let's let these guys
let's get Kyle in. Kyle, I'm going to let you in real quick, and then we'll let Adam in after that.
Kyle was my inspiration for my backward compatibility post. Cheaters! Hi, guys.
Hey guys.
What's up? Hey, you cheated.
And here's our view.
Adam.
We don't like you anymore. Go away. No, that's really beautiful.
Wait, does that say that says Wikipedia on the top of that? I don't really think you're down there.
No, in all seriousness, thanks for coming on Blab. This has been the newcomers night. We had Chris Lema first. This is your new.
Yeah. No, there's crazy pictures.
You got a heckler over there, Kyle. You got a heckler.
What's you guys talking?
So, Kyle, what type of stuff are you doing blogging wise?
Sorry. Just about. Thank you. About probably on a very regular basis, like about every other year or so, I do draft a post. And
you're on the Steve Zengit track. I knew it. That's exactly what Steve does. Is every other year he writes a blog post.
And the blogging is pretty popular, pretty powerful, and it's something that I used to do a lot of. I really got involved in a lot of things through blogging, but in recent times, it's not been a huge part of my workload. Though I have a blog, I literally have a post drafted on probably 10 different websites It's really good at starting them.
So if you were to take all the comments of all your code and smushed it all together to make a blog post, how long do you think that blog post would be?
It would outpace my blog.
223 lines.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys are writing. You're just writing in another language.
Yeah, that's why I said the
you know,
comments, just all of the commenting part of it.
Right. Yeah, I'm expressing something there that I think is
Your
valuable to
frustrations.
people.
Well, I mean, I
Stupid
just want to
code.
defend the situation. It's very creative. It's creative. It's language-based.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's impressive. Like, that's still writing. But what about the content marketing for your business?
Content marketing.
Jeez.
I think totally the wrong episode to come on the show, but
The title is over on the side there, and it does say blogging to find your voice.
I saw that just a moment ago. Yeah, actually, like I'm just about the first person to come on the show, but content marketing, I would say that if you define it a little bit loosely, you could say that it is a big part of our strategy because I do a lot of outreach and I do put myself out in a lot of different ways, but through a written medium, it's quite unusual. Any blog posts that I write are fairly brief, often satirical, and just generally not for a marketing purpose. But I do a ton of physical outreach. You know, I lead meetups and I speak a lot at WordCamps and I do webinars and do podcasts and I do all those kinds of things. So people will come across me, and I got an email today because I saw you on a webinar, on somebody's WordPress show, and I appreciated what you said about this or that, and so I thought I'd contact you. And so there is content that I am producing.
So it counts. I mean,
all over,
every week
all
almost
over the
you're
web,
doing the
through
round
different
table.
Through a written medium, it is unusual.
I watch it.
Yeah, but nobody watches that show.
It's part of my WordPress immersion program.
We're gonna hit us 5.
Oh,
well, thank you, Bridget.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, all you have to do is embed that into a content thing. Say, we're really glad that we had John Parkinson this week, and you can watch the video here, and then you've got a blog post. Because what Jason said when we first started is video counts. The podcasting counts. It's content. It doesn't have to be written content. I mean, really, blogging is, to me, short for content marketing. Your content could be anything. What about your WordCamp talks? Do you embed those and do a recap and then put a link to your slides?
Usually somebody will write about them.
There's your cheater, easy, super way.
Else. I don't know. I put a tremendous amount. What I will say is that I do put a tremendous amount of effort into some content.
No, I know.
And that is generally my
your
presentation. I work extremely hard on
Day at the NTech conference is what inspired my post on backward compatibility. You affected me. Yeah. So I think that you should embed those into your blog post and slap Adam for making bunny ears behind your head.
Kyle, what were you expecting, though? You're up on stage and you were talking, and Bridget was listening, and at some point, something resonated with Bridget, and Bridget got something out of it. I think to go back to what Chris was saying earlier, you just defined a success by showing up onto the stage and actually getting ready to say something. No,
that talk was a little.
She did,
but I will say that we are working on something pretty special. Me and this other guy.
Yeah.
We've got WP Battles Round 3 in the works. It's coming to a WordCamp near you this October, and it's going to be pretty special.
That's one of the top viewed videos on WordPress.tv, like right after Mullenweg's speech.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, it's actually 29 in the past year. Anyway. Yes. So I really, if there's anything that I do related to content that I really put a lot of effort into, that I get a lot of value from, it's the presentation. So I put so much work into every single talk, so much rehearsing, so much research, and I do a lot of presentations. Presentations, all meetups in the region, every WordCamp that I can get to, at other conferences. I'm doing one of the WordPress for Higher Ed here in not here, but in Michigan, coming up here pretty soon. It's pretty soon at a community college conference, and just anywhere I can do outreach about WordPress and putting together presentations and take those extremely seriously. So that's the content that I produce. So there's a lot of videos of me online. There's a lot of places you can find my slides and people here and there mentioning my talk or writing about it. So that's my marketing outreach, and not to discount the value of blogging. I think it's incredibly important, and I counsel a lot of my clients to blog as often as possible. For some, it's extremely useful. And I coach them a lot through it, and I have blogged a lot in the past. Just in the past couple of years, it's become a very, very small part of what I do.
What about something like, because now we've talked to two people that do a lot of public speaking.
I was just gonna say
what
that.
about like a transcription of your talk, and then have somebody edit it, so you take all the ums and ahs and kind of the jokes that made sense in the room, take all that out, and now you have a blog post.
I think that's a tremendously brilliant idea. Yeah. Adam says something that I don't care about, but I think that's a great idea. Jason.
No, there's a service.
should,
Adam Warner recommended
totally
it.
hire
What's
somebody
it
to do
called,
that.
Jason? Rev. Yeah, Rev.com.
There's a bunch of transcription services.
That could
Revs.
be perfect. You
Revs
still
are
have
great.
to edit it.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Right.
you could play your video to Siri and
totally.
then she'll just hear it. Can you do that? There's gotta be some hack. You guys program for your life.
Yeah, I mean, you're really good at that. What could go wrong?
But really, though, having that as a transcribed thing, and then also taking that content and putting it back up onto YouTube or putting it onto wherever, so now you have that video that goes along with it.
Yes.
I mean, at that point, you've just circled the entire thing and just, yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about organic attention, videos are extremely powerful. So videos of a presentation or a recording or something, webinars and podcast shows.
Not to take this accessibility bomb and throw it into the room, but you have people that can't hear, that want to hear your content, but they can't hear it.
You're absolutely right.
And Google wants to see it, but it wants to see it as text, not as not as some video that they try to transcribe using Google Voice, and then it turns into stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. Do it, dude. It only costs $1 a
that
minute.
Would be
Why
epic,
not?
Actually.
Wow, I don't know if I've got $5, but that's a really good suggestion, though, and I recommend that other people do that. And I will think about doing that.
I'm totally going to take one of your videos, and I'm going to go get it transcribed, and that's what you're getting for Christmas.
Because if they're long, $5 a minute or $1 a minute starts adding up.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just replace certain words with WP water cooler throughout the entire thing.
Next week on WP water cooler, right? WP roundtable.
No, but for real, dude, try it once. Why not? Give it a shot. See what it is. See how it works. See what it does.
Yeah, there's great people on the WordPress TV team I know who are doing a lot of transcriptions of the videos of the WordPress TV.
Are those
a great
open source
website
or something? Can you access that transcription? Where are those?
Transcriptions of videos on WordPress TV. Not all videos are transcribed, but there are many that are. So you can start to browse videos in there, and you'll find some. There might even be a tag. I'm trying to go from
there is a ticket. No joke. There is a track ticket. 1510. Add all transcripts to videos on WordPress TV, and it's like whoa. There's probably people in here just leaving a comment going I don't know, dude. This is going to be nuts.
Yes.
It's all Morton's fault.
Morton probably been. That's a big discussion, but we gotta bail. What?
That's fine.
Oh, Adam's daughter needs her room or something. Apparently,
for hanging out with us, Kyle and Adam.
And everybody needs a place to go and cry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. When you have a discussion about not blogging and how
Hey,
doing things that
give
aren't
us a
blogging
topic.
play into
We'll
your
give you
strategy,
an hour.
I want to be involved in that chat.
You know how to find us. We have the rest of this year
Yeah, I can remember
totally
for
free.
the whole hour. No problem.
Because that's what happens. Jason
Totally
texts
free.
me on Thursday and say,
That's
what
good.
are we
We're not on
talking
the
about?
list. You can quit.
Pick a Thursday, Kyle. It's yours. See ya.
Thanks, Kyle.
Costa Rica,
See
we're
y'all
up.
later.
Those
Later.
wild kids
Bye.
in Costa Rica.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Jeez. The kid just got Costa Rican food like down the street.
Right?
You didn't have to go all the way down there
That
just
is
for
a
that.
good
But
Festivus
hey,
for the rest of
I
us.
get it.
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, holiday present for somebody.
Totally, yeah. Get their video transcribed and then and do that. I was looking on WordPress TV. I didn't really see like a tag or something that says like it was transcribed or. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious how that's working
Like
and what are they going to do about it. And
at Europe and US, the people in the audience could read it as it was happening.
Yeah, but that's because they hired a person to actually do
that's
the
actually
courtroom
saved.
reporting style transcription.
I don't know what happens.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know how that
True.
works.
I mean, I match. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so let's see here. me pick the train up, put it back on the track a little bit.
That is your skill.
Because we still got some time to talk here. So blogging to find your voice.
I thought it was interesting that Chris Lema said 200 posts because that is about 4 years.
Yeah. Unless you're just blogging like nobody's business every day, you're cranking out 4 or 5.
Here's the thing that I have.
But I don't even know if that's
exception because if I'm not disagreeing, it's really not a very fun show. As a teacher, you learn about how to learn, and if you don't have guided practice, and if you don't have somebody, correcting your form, like Pilates, that's the whole concept of Pilates. You don't just do isometrics in your house. You got somebody correcting your form as you're going.
Yeah.
This is why dancers dance in a mirror, right? Because you have to see where you are in relationship and where you should be. Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law used to correct swimming, and she coached swimmers in Arizona who went to the Olympics. Just stroke correction, because she knew, just by looking at them, where their arms should be in space. Okay? So everybody that does a skill needs to have some way to get feedback in order to improve that skill. So you could write in a vacuum, and you could define your success as publishing, and that's great.
Yeah.
But are you going to become a better writer? And are you going to find the voice that's uniquely yours? That's really two different things, right? So you could publish all you want, but if nobody reads it and gives a crap, then I'm just putting it out there. Like, I'm not trying to throw Chris under the bus now that he's seen his s'mores. I'm just saying that there's an aspect of doing it. If you do it every day and you're not getting corrected, then what's happening is you're learning it to do it. Potentially you're learning to do it the wrong way. And you're not. And so once you learn something the wrong way, it takes 6 to 10 times the amount of time to unlearn it and relearn it. So I used to tutor algebra. And so people would learn the wrong way, and it would take all this extra time to start over because they learned it wrong in the beginning. And that's a problem. So if you do it that many times without getting feedback, then you could potentially be doing more damage. Like people that lose their voice when they sing because they're singing in their throat and they're not singing with their diaphragm. So just think any skill, pick any skill. You could be doing it wrong, and the more you do it without having that feedback loop, the longer you'll reinforce that wrong. That's why there's best practices or whatever. So it'd be good if you could write and be part of a blogging support group or whatever. Scott Buscemi has a Slack channel. Other people have. I have a blogging buddy. Carol and I throw ideas off of each other. It helps if you have somebody you can partner with, just like a gym buddy or whatever. You have somebody you could, like, sometimes friends will send me their post and go, what do you think of this? Because I know I can't help myself. I have to edit. And then I'll say, well, what about this and what about this? And then, like, because I'm really a better editor, I think, than a writer. And I think that's why I used to proofread books and stuff. It's all rules, just like math. Math's all rules, and grammar's all rules. So I could take somebody's blood, sweat, and tears and chop it all to pieces, you know. But the thing is that I think that writing is good. I think continuous writing is better. But I think that if you could add in that extra feedback loop with somebody you trust, it would really help. I don't know who that is for you. Like, I mean, I can't handle all of our audience's editing, but I'm just saying, like, it does help if you have some kind of, and so in a vacuum, you're just by yourself, then all you have are the comments or the feedback on social media comments or tweets or whatever, where they say, you've lost your mind. You've totally lost your mind. You've gone off the deep end. That's it. Bridget's crazy. You know, you can't just go around saying this, you know, or whatever, right? Or sometimes I'll just go, oh, there's a grammar mistake, or I don't know. Like, so Paul is asking, is there a wrong way to blog regularly? And I would just say the wrong way is to not ever get any feedback from a third party. I used to read my stuff to my husband because, especially with the jargon-centric things, he doesn't know diddly squat about anything. So if he can understand it, then I know I did a good job. See? So it doesn't have to be some peer. In fact, it might even be better. You know? I was just reading this article about Richard Branson, the Virgin guy, right? Did I say his name right? Okay. Anyway, he said, if you have a startup idea, ask your mom. Because if she's excited about it, then you know the general public will be excited about it. So if you can tap into your potential audience, if you can find somebody close to you with your audience and just share it with them, then you could get some good feedback, and then you go, okay, I see what's happening. Because you could sit there and talk in your own words, and if everybody has to Google like every other word, then then maybe that's not your audience. Like, that's what I'm saying. Chicken before the egg, which came first, right? Do you find your voice and then find your audience, or do you know your audience and then find your voice to match your audience's needs? Chicken or the egg? Hashtag it depends. Right? I mean, if people don't understand what you're saying, like maybe, okay, so if you're writing a blog post, I would expect higher level people to understand it.
Possibly. I don't know if it's a higher level type thing. Well, it's more along the lines of just like, I'm not even writing for anybody else. I'm writing audience. For me. And so like, for instance, we'll go back in time for a minute. So I used to use livejournal.com a lot back in the day. Back when my wife and I were dating, and we kind of kept each other up to date on what was going on by doing that stuff, by sitting there writing things on LiveJournal. And because she didn't live near me, I lived near her, and she lived, so we use LiveJournal as our way to kind of do the same, like Twitter. Like, if you wanted to know what I was doing, or if any of these people wanted to, it's like Twitter, but it was LiveJournal. It was like long form stuff. And so what was kind of making was pretty goth. No, it's not. Now it's really Russian. It has nothing to do with being goth.
Adam.
So LiveJournal for me was I was writing for a very specific audience, and that audience was my friends. That's it. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was just I was writing to my friends so that they could see what I was up to and stuff. And so that's kind of the same thing here, where it's like I'm writing this for both myself and as well as for somebody else who will find this and just go like, oh, it's like the instruction manual of my day. Here's all the stuff that I did and all the stuff that didn't work right. It's like that kind of thing. But that's what's interesting to me. So I'm going to write what's interesting to me. I'm not going to go and try to write, the last thing I'm going to do is sit here and write about football or baseball or any other ball that I don't watch, So that's not what I'm going to do.
Oh, man.
So I would be a terrible writer, like you were saying earlier about this, trying to find this teeny little thing that you need to write about. And then go write about it, even though you don't specialize in that.
You have to immerse yourself. Thing. Like I was talking to this girl who just got this new job at SMLC, and she goes, "I don't know what to do."
Right.
I said, "Read their blog. Read it every day. Those people wrote all about themselves. You're going to learn their culture. You're going to learn the jargon, and then start writing out the jargon in a notepad. You're going to learn it, and it's going to be your content deck." She's like, wow, like the website is intentional. If you wrote the content for your website in an intentional way, then everything a new employee needs to do is sit there and read that thing. Just read it. Doesn't matter if you don't understand the first 10 times. Just read it. Just if there's video, just put it on and let it go in your brain. So this is what I do with my WordPress immersion program. I don't know, daily squads about the WPCLI.
Right.
I know it's a big deal, and I know it exists because I just listen to stuff that I have no idea what's happening. Right? Yeah. Your hands are free. How are you giving me prompts? Did you script that? Oh my God!
Yes, of course I did.
Of course you did. Why did I ask the question? So, Hey Sherry is saying, I think one of the hardest things as a new blogger is getting off the ground. I agree, Sherry. The first post is a mile-high hurdle. What do you say? I agree with you. How do you even know what to blog about or what your audience might be interested in if you've never blogged? Okay, so I would take the Jason approach and write about something you're interested in, or I would take a question. Now, for me, people would ask me questions, and I don't like answering myself a million times. So I write one blog post for the one person and for the rest of the world. So, okay, so that's one way to do it. So either write something you're passionate about. Jason is doing that SSS beta, but there's a lot of things that have blogging prompts, including WordPress.
NaPoPoMo.
Oh yeah, national.
That's it. NaPoPoMo.
Something. Oh
no, that's podcasting. There's another one.
There's writing prompts. WordPress.com has writing prompts.
Totally.
In April, there's the A to Z challenge where you blog every single day of the month with A to Z. But you can make up your own challenge, A to Z challenge. If you don't know what to blog about, you have something to say. This is what I always tell people. If I could hold your face in my hands and look you in the eyeballs, I'd say, you have value to add to this world. Start writing. And that's the truth. So figure it out. What are you passionate about? Or just start writing these questions. Or go to Quora or WordPress support questions, or troll Twitter and look at the people asking questions. People are asking questions every single day. They're the greatest thing because then you know you're providing value because the question has been asked. Yep. So if there's like a group you're in, WordPress for nonprofits, intermediate WordPress for mommy bloggers, Candy Makers Are Us, whatever you want to do. I mean, or you could do like things to do in your town. The 10 hottest things in Cincinnati nobody knows about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Then you have 2.5 months worth of if you blog once a week. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. To me, Oh yeah, Devin says Give has a CLI now. They're working on that. That's like another exciting thing that Give is doing. But we're not going to talk about Quidditch, Paul. But so that's the thing. I would say, hey Sherry, is I would say find a theme, or find a blogging prompt, or a bunch of groups, or some kind of support system, or a buddy. Like I think you have a twin sister, if I remember you quite correctly.
You are correct.
Okay, so you guys could.
You are correct.
Yeah, Cheryl, right? Cheryl and Sherry you guys can interchange, or how about the top 10 things you didn't know about being a twin, and write about one of them each time, right? Because there's like, what are the myths? What are the myths that annoy you about?
Or you could do a.
She said. That would be hilarious.
She said.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. So there's so much you could do, but sit there and brainstorm, and then do this. Take a pen and a notebook and write them down. You're not going to remember them, I promise you with all my heart. Either write them down like this, put them in your phone as an email, as a text message, whatever it's going to remember. If you have the WordPress app, you could start a draft right here, and then make each other accountable. That's the thing, is that you have to be accountable, or you're never going to do it. Adam Thompson says keeping a journal diary is good because writing for yourself is therapeutic. Is cathartic. It's better than screaming.
Yep.
So yeah, it is. And a lot of people have a private blog because they still want to see it published, or an anonymous blog, or you could just blog on Medium, or you could
Chris Logan has this really great one. I was trying to dig around trying to find it. It's a little old, but it's just text, so it can't get old. But back in 2007, you did one on 100 blog topics I hope you write about.
Yeah.
Maybe look at that and see if that's something that you can
or if
help
there's
you
a
out
blogger that you like say you like, this is Seth Godin's blog, or whatever. Seth Godin, it's like, it's sethgodin.blogspot or something. I think it's maybe 100 words, but he does it every day. Maybe you could just be the person that disagrees. You know, sometimes you need something to awaken that passion.
And I'd imagine your twin sister would probably be the perfect person to disagree with you. If I had to guess, I would imagine so. Every day, exactly, every single day.
How is that even
we got
possible?
20 minutes left of this bad boy. I don't know. We just had like freaking rock stars show up and want to hang out. It was awesome. We need more rock stars. So Cheryl, Harry, both of you guys jump in if you want and say hi and
find
stuff.
Your voice. You can be a rock star too. Chris Lema didn't start out as Chris Lema. He started out as Chris Lema. Same guy that puts on his pants, just like everybody else.
I think he probably jumps into them, though. I don't think he puts
So Paul camps. You can write about your favorite camping spots, places you want to go that you've never been. I personally think everybody should go to Yosemite before they die. That's the one place I've been twice, and it's beautiful. My husband used to say that you've never lived until you saw the sunrise over the north rim of the Grand Canyon. So that's. I'm not a traveling person. That's one of my goals. I would like to see the national parks. I think that would be fun. So I like a series. So once I finally started going on Keys to Being Social, I was like, okay, this is perfect. I need a series. I got 2 more, and I can make an ebook. I'll have 30. Yay!
Nice.
So it depends. You got to figure out what your personality is. I need goals. I need something I need a series. I need a gimmick. Like Monday's Maintenance Monday. So I do all my maintenance things on Monday. Manage WPs on Monday. I follow people on Twitter. I check my analytics on Monday. I do all that planning on Monday. But then But then I decided, okay, well, I'm out of my habit of blogging on BridgetWillard.com. Okay, social media Saturday. So last Friday night, I was like 10 o'clock. I promise I would do this. There's people, and I'll tweet it because I know people will keep me accountable. I'll tweet it because I know somebody's going to go, where's that blog post? Woo, people are going to ask me. So I'm sitting there going, I got to write something, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that where I've written a blog post just to not have to ever answer that question again. And those are my that's well, okay, so I am blogging in private. I'm actually writing on our blog at my work where I'll say, you know, I'm so tired of answering this question. Here's how to check your Gmail. So, you know, here's the 5 steps on how to check Gmail. And one of them is to go to gmail.com.
This is the
second
way
one
the
is to
checks
log
go
in.
into the printer. I did that one.
So the way the checks go into the printer is you write Bridget Willard on the name of the check, and then you write how much you're going to give me.
I did a little sound effect.
And then you just walk over there and you hand it to me.
Oh man.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, but those are the things that, you know, I've definitely have written plenty of those types where it's just like, okay, I'm just tired of answering this question, so
yes,
solve a problem. Which means solve a problem, yeah, go on Twitter, find the thing. Why not? Find something that somebody is asking over and over again. And you know, one of the things that one of my friends oh, that's really nice of you. Good job, dude. One of the things that I've seen a lot of sites do is that they'll answer a question that's so dumb, like so dumb. Like you think, why would anybody ever ask this question? Like for instance, one of them, which is always a funny one that I would see people post about, is like, what time is the Steelers game on tonight? No joke. That's what they would say. They would just type it into Google. What time is the Steelers game tonight? Or what time is the Rams game? Or what time is this? Or what this or that? You're answering these questions that are super, super simple. And you're just doing a quick Google search for it. Find it, write a thing about it, and boom, people are showing up to the site because they just did a search for it, and it's so timely, and you're just answering that question. Well, if somebody's saying there's a very specific thing like there's a website called imore.com, which is like an iPhone, iPad. It's a big technology site. But one of the things they stopped doing just recently is they stopped writing blog posts that are news articles. They're like, plenty of sites do news articles. Who cares? I'm just going to answer questions that people have about iPhone. You know, how do I check my email? Okay, we're going to write an entire blog post about how to check the email. Or how do I make the black and white filter happen in Snapchat? And they'll write a thing that explains how to do that. So I think those are definitely like that type of thing. Answering a question is, no matter how basic it is, but finding that thing that's in your industry that you absolutely need to answer the question for. You know, for you back in the construction and stuff, it's like, how do you bid for blah, whatever it is? How do you bid for? Because somebody's going to go and say, I've never had to bid for that type of job before, and they're going to do a Google search for it.
Or you can take the opposite to be funny. The top 10 ways to ruin an egg dish.
Right. right, exactly.
You know, or whatever, you know. Because my friend, my sister-in-law actually is a home ec major in college. And she's like, I want to write a blog because everybody always asks me how to do this. I'm like, well, yeah, you could talk about all the things in home ec, but you could do it in your own funny, snarky way. You know, and that's what makes it fun to read. Yep. Because nobody wants to read something super dry. It's boring. I mean, who's sitting up at night reading technical manuals?
I was up till 2 in the morning reading about 1Password. No joke.
So that would be a lesson in knowing your audience. Clearly, I don't know mine. Maybe you do like reading technical manuals at night. That would be the audio book I'd put on to fall asleep.
That's when you put on your slippers, you put on the smoking jacket, and then you with the TV off, and you're looking at your iPad, and you're like, all right, 1Password. All right, 1Password, show me how to make this work. It's totally true, though. It's totally true. It was like last week I did that.
Well, I mean, so if you're reading that, you could digest it. That would be another good blog post.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you could become the Cliff Notes version of the thing.
WordPress 101, the Cliff Notes. I mean, WP Beginner doesn't own the market. Look, I'm telling you, I'm going to write about this, but go ahead and write your own version. Getting from nothing, absolutely nothing, to the admin is the most difficult part. Because you guys got to remember, you're building websites 2, 3, 5 times a month. The rest of the world is doing it once, and it's never doing that part ever again. Ever again.
Yep.
So you could do it in a funny way. Yep. You could do it in a,
We literally invented the 5-minute install, so we would only have to do it for 5 minutes. Not because we were trying to help anybody else that had to do it once, but just so those people that would have to reinstall over and over again.
Yeah, I was watching those videos today. That's what I was doing. Because every
install videos?
host is different, right? I think with with WP Engine, they're already there.
Right. It's like the 1 second install.
WP Engine,
it's like
you have WordPress, right? I understood that correct. Okay.
Yep.
So that's the thing. But then if you're like SiteGround like me, you got to go to the cPanel, find that little thing, and go whatever. And then you've got to realize that you're creating your username and password, and your username can never change. So be smart about that. Because I had Bridget Willard twice. Now I can never remember what my password is for one or the other. Yeah, not smart.
Oh.
Now you can use an email address for your username. But before, when I did it, you couldn't. Yeah. If I go to WordPress.org, I never remember what half the time reset password. Because I know what it is.
1Password. See, you should stay up late at night and read the 1Password book.
Cliff Notes. That's what I'm saying. You guys have some people. Even if I wanted to read that, I will never understand it. And those passwords are bigger than nuclear launch codes, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. I mean, you guys are loyal, super awesome.
We only got to 6,000 props on Bridget. I can't get this thing to go any faster. It starts stopping after a while. No joke. I have this little thing that's clicking.
So hey, Sherry and yay, Cheryl. We want to read your blog post. So hit us up on Twitter so we can read it. There's your accountability.
Yeah, the site should be like hey and yay or yay and hey or something. That'd be hilarious.
I cannot wait to see what you guys do, because that'll be fun. You guys have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, it'd be like heyyay.com or heyyay.twins or something. That's be like a heyyay.twins or some
twinning.
Something. Yeah.
Everybody's like, we're twinning. You're not twinning. You're wearing the same shirt that you work for those. Your work shirt. It's not twinning.
Right. You're failing at the twinning. I'm sorry. You're failing.
You guys could do twinning fails. That would be so funny.
And you could do like twinning, where you're like recreating a twinning.
That would be funny. That would be funny. Oh my gosh, I have too much fun on the show. Even my mom, she always sends me a text message. She says, "Have fun on Blab. I know you love it."
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we bring some type of something fun
for everyone
out there. Exactly. Well,
I think we're
done.
I think we've totally exhausted this entire subject, because here's the TLDR version. You have to write to find your voice. There's no shortcut. There's no script. There's no roboting that.
No.
Or speak, whatever. You have to produce the content to find
Yeah. The content needs to be produced, but really, if you're speaking, you should totally be transcribing that stuff. Come on. We live in the future.
good.
Like,
And
just
it's
make
so
that happen.
good. Like, it's just sad to me that people don't. There aren't that many views on WordPress.tv. I can't believe how many times I'm telling people, use that search bar, folks. Go to WordPress.tv. Watch. How do you set up WordPress?
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah. WP Water Cooler had more views than the WordPress TV did during the keynote that Matt Mullenweg was doing up on stage back at the last WordCamp San Francisco. He's up on stage and he's like, here's how many people are watching this. And we're like, oh.
Well, I mean, people
Okay.
do, like, Kyle made a good point. He works hard presenting, and it is hard work, you know?
It's true.
I've
true.
been thinking about my talk at Las Vegas for months. Now I'm realizing, it's only in 2 months. And I say only, well, I do, because you know why? You can't just get up there and talk. You have to have a vision. You have to have an end game.
But what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to come to the WordCamp in Orange County, or WordCamp, the WordPress meetup in Orange County, and actually do that talk.
I don't want you guys to hear it yet.
You have to. No, you have to. That is the way it works.
It's my story. It's not. It's too boring for you guys.
Well, then why are you talking if it's too boring?
Nobody likes you anymore. Isn't it time to stop it? No, it's not.
No,
fair
it's
enough.
true though.
Fair
Like
enough,
if you're,
as Russ would say, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, for reals though. If you're gonna do it, do it. But you're gonna need to practice, and the only way you practice is to find a local WordPress meetup, or go to like Toastmasters or something, and who listen to speeches all day long are gonna listen to your speech and go like,
"Oh, I don't have a problem with public speaking. I used to be a teacher."
Oh, I know, but
I do practice. But I rehearse in my mind too. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I want it to. Even if it's my story, I still want a call to action. That's a marketer in me. There should be something that somebody can walk away with.
Bridget, here's 700 props just for that.
Oh my God.
It's prop it all over the place. Nonstop the props. All right, folks, that is about it for today. Thank you very much for all of you for taking the time out of your day to come over here and to watch the show. I really appreciate that. I'd imagine Bridget appreciates that as well.
I do.
If you're watching this at home, I would really appreciate, again, if you were to go and click on the little like button. That would be awesome. It's a little thumbs up button. Click on that. And since we talked about comments, maybe we should try out and see how comments work. Feel free to leave a comment on YouTube. Copy that comment and paste it, and go over to our website at WPblab.com/WPblab, and then just paste it back in there again. That's it. That's all we want you to do. Make that happen, and we would be super stoked. Super stoked. Folks, you have a good rest of your day. Talk to you all later. We hit 3,000 props. Woohoo!
Yay!
All right, folks, see you later. Bye-bye.